looking at very closely as we consider the public submissions process.
Question number 11, Tamati Coffey.
Mr Speaker, my question is to the Minister of Commerce and Consumer Affairs and asks, what recent announcements has he made to protect consumers and businesses from unfair commercial practices?
The Honourable Kris Faafoi.
Mr Speaker, on Monday, the Minister of Small Business, Stuart Nash, and I were pleased to release a discussion paper outlining options to protect consumers and businesses from unfair commercial practices and contract terms. Existing provisions of the Fair Trading Act and the Commerce Act protect consumers and businesses against a range of unfair commercial practices, but the government wants to plug gaps in the current protections because small and medium-sized businesses and consumers have highlighted issues.
What types of unfair commercial practices are of most concern?
Mr Speaker, for consumers, examples of unfair practices include traders using aggressive sales tactics to sell products to vulnerable consumers or selling products to consumers without clearly specifying the total price. For businesses, examples of unfair practices include contract terms that unreasonably shift risk onto one party of a contract, the use of extended payment terms, and businesses not complying with contract terms. I'd like to thank some of the entities who have given us feedback. For example, the Food and Grocery Council, who have said that this is a pro-business move and that there is a need to strengthen New Zealand's business law dealing with unfair practices, and these proposals would go a long way towards achieving that.
What else is the government doing to address poor commercial conduct and support honest business in New Zealand?
Well, Mr Speaker, the government has a broad program of work in this space. For instance, we're strengthening the Credit Contracts and Consumer Finance Act to protect against high-cost loans and irresponsible lending, and the government is also assessing changes made to the Fair Trading Act in 2013 to make sure they're working effectively as well. We've also given the Commerce Commission recently the power to undertake competition studies.
Question. Now, should we go to Joe Hayes? Joe Hayes.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Minister